Hey guys, here we are with another video. In this case, what I'm going to do is do the yearly maintenance of this Oasis system. So there's an annual kit you can get online, and that'll take care of this. So in case you're wondering, this part number for the annual kit is 2150, and this is a CH50 model. So I'll show you what all's involved with doing that. This is everything we're going to change inside of this system, but it's fairly easy. So undo these 4 screws on the corners. All right, let me set the screws in that. Alright, now that it stopped, I'm going to start over. The combustion fan was just running just to get things cooling down and all that was on. The air filter is going to be easy to swap because it's right here, but let's get inside and start working from the inside out. So let me first take these 4 screws off now. Alright, now this can come off. And now it's going to be kind of hard for you to see what we're doing here. But we've got to get to the igniter. Is going to be this piece right here, which is going to be this with the red cap. But we have to take this out so that we can actually swap out the nozzle. So in order to do that, you see that there's this 1 screw here, which we'll have to start off, and then we can get to everything else. So this, it's usually barely tight. So just start it by rotating it anti-clockwise, and then you should be able to get it by hand. Now it's loose. And that is our nozzle, which is quite dirty. But let me go ahead and check the chamber inside to see if we have to take the whole thing apart to clean. No, it is quite clean inside. So I'm not going to worry about cleaning out this whole chamber because there's 4 nuts on the corner to pull this off so you can clean all the dusting inside, everything that's just building up there. All the suds building up in that chamber. But what I'm going to do now is work with this nozzle, which is a 5/8 wrench that you need. We'll clean off all these components, and then we'll swap this igniter. I'll show you how to get to that in a minute. But it's pretty straightforward. So let me grab the tool. Let me go grab a rag. We'll just clean off this part, and we'll take this nozzle off. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so what I have here is just a carburetor cleaner because it's strong stuff just to clean all this gunk off. And now we'll get our wrench just to take this off, which should not be tight at all. And when you get to this point where it's almost out, be careful, because way tucked in there is a little filter, which I'll show you here in a minute what it looks like. You may have to tap this just to help it come out. There we go. That. So let me make sure to clean this new nozzle off. I'll set the old parts aside. So this is the old nozzle, of course. And what I will do now is open this up so that we can make sure the inside's clean. So it's very easy to clean this one off. Again, everything in here, that's a part of this component should not be super tight. So just loosen this part up here. And that'll allow me to open this up. I'm sorry it's very dark in here. So this is just a regular thread. We'll set that aside, we'll clean that off too. But inside of this nozzle is this small little piece that ends up sticking up out of that hole, this small piece. And this, you want to make sure the grooves are nice and clean. So this is what I'm going to focus on cleaning right now. This little piece, the little hole in there, all of this. So I'm going to use that brake cleaner. I've got this, which I use with my soldering iron, that's not as harsh, just to make sure we buff everything off and clean out all the grooves. You can also use a brass brush to clean it out from the inside. So let me get that done. Alright guys, so now that we have that all cleaned up, and this little piece, which is very important, we'll go ahead and put this together. So, double check, yeah. Just put that in like so, and go ahead and put it in here in that nozzle, and you start tightening it up just by hand for now. And you want to make sure that that little piece inside, you probably can't tell, is right there lined up perfectly, and in this case it is. And all I'm going to do is tighten it up to where it's snug. You don't want to overdo this. There we go. All right, now let's get to our kit. So that is it, the yearly kit. We'll get to this, the little igniter. We'll get to this, which is right here. But for now, what I want to swap out is this little O-ring that's right here on the tip. So grab yourself a little pick tool. All right, with the pick tool, just work at it till you can pop it off, and the new rubber seal, just go ahead and pop it on that. That way it stays put. And there we go. Now the last step, I've got to get that little rock filter way inside of that piece, which I have right here. So just to show you, that's the old one, and that's the new one, which is a lot more shinier. So we'll get rid of the old. The new one, you just have to hold this up so that you can get it to fall inside of that hole. If you have to, you can use any tool in here. Just don't scratch anything, just to make sure it does go in straight. Or you can just drop it a few times until it lands where it has to. So it may take a few tries to get it in there. Perfect. And now we can go ahead and put this back on now that everything's been cleaned and swapped out. Again, just snug. Don't over tighten it. So you'll see I'm not using any other tool here, just your hand. So that is done. So now I can put this back. Remember, this is hand tight, so I can loosen it up, make sure it lines up perfectly just to fit in there. Now we're all the way in. So I can tighten this little ear up here. Grab yourself your little wrench you were using to loosen it up to make sure you tighten it now. There you go. Again, don't overkill it. Now what we'll do, we'll move on to the igniter. The only important part here, as you can see the igniter here, it's got this like a horseshoe, that U shape. When you pop this in place, you want to make sure you can see that U. You don't want it sideways, so it can actually ignite the fuel as it's coming out of that nozzle. So the only thing holding this in place, let me get the flashlight and swap it. There you go. Hopefully you can see. It's just this pin right here. This is locking it in place. So let me pull that out, set it aside, and now I can get the old part out. And go ahead and unplug it. This one's tight, it always is. There we go. Now don't worry of trying to memorize what side went to what side, because these connections have a female and a male, so you can't reverse it. So let's go ahead and wire the new one up. Male to female. It's the only way it can plug in. Again, this part, you want to make sure that you can see that U shape. I would have to take the whole thing off to show you, but you could just loosen that, so when you pop it into that socket, you can make sure it is straight. So just make sure that these wires are horizontal, which is making that U come out. Just pay attention to that piece of the igniter. And we'll get our pin, which you want to go over, so go at an angle and then you straighten it out to lock it in place. And that is it. So we have a new igniter. We've got all our components swapped right there. Let's move on to this filter here. So we're going to pop this off so that we can change that air filter. Alright, so let me show you. The only two tools you need specific are, this wrench is a 5/8, which I took the nozzle off, and I can hold this little nut to back this filter off, and this is a 9/16. So we'll just back it off. So whoever swapped this last time, they put this on really tight. It doesn't have to be on that tight. You just want all these components snug. So we'll get rid of the old and we'll install the new. And that's it. All right, so now we're done with this. We can close this, put the cover back on here, which, all right, I already cleaned off this little peephole so you can see what's going on inside. I'll clean it off a little better because it's still kind of dirty in there. Just so that you can take a peek inside and make sure everything is lighting as it's supposed to. All right, now with everything in place, this you want to make sure they've got that with a zip tie. You want to make sure this is not up against the cover. If not, it won't let any air in through here. So you want to make sure it's away or pointed down so it's not blocked. Now that we have all this done, before I plug anything in, I don't want it to kick on, let's go change out the one last filter we have. So we'll go get that installed and keep your O-ring handy too.